Less regret. Please strike me thunder.
G'day guys, Aussie FIFA HD, and welcome back to yet another episode of my skill move tutorial series where I show you how, where and when to perform a skill move in FIFA 21. Today we're learning the reverse step over. The step over itself in FIFA 21 is so overpowered, and the reverse step over is actually quite good as well. To my surprise, it's just as overpowered. So without further ado, let's get into the intro and let's get into how to perform or how to do the reverse step over in FIFA 21.
Griezmann, three men around him, but somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
On the ball. He's made
Look at this, just control. The control display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest of...
We talked about Aussie FIFA. He's not here to make up the numbers.
Moving into how you perform the reverse step over in FIFA 21. It's basically the opposite to the actual step over. So the step over is, and I've already done this tutorial on my channel, the step over is pointing the right analog stick up to 0 degrees or 12 o'clock if we're talking o'clock, and then rotating it around to either 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 270 degrees or 90 degrees, and this will perform the step over. If you want to do the reverse step over, it's the opposite. What you need to do is you need to point from 90 degrees or 270 degrees, or from 3 o'clock to or from 9 o'clock. You need to either point either direction of where the player is facing, either 3 or 9 o'clock, and then you're rotating around to 0 degrees or 12 o'clock if we're talking on a clock perspective. So once again, you're pointing either side of where the player is facing. So in degrees it's 270 or 90, in a clock it's 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You're then rotating all around either way, whichever way you've exited into or entered into. You're then rotating it around to 0 degrees or 12 o'clock, depending on which way or it's better for you to understand. But essentially what this will do is perform the reverse step over. Now what you can actually do as well with this technique is you can exit out. So like the step over, you can perform the step over and then use the left analog stick to exit out in either direction. You can go behind, you can do a complete turnaround, that's what I mean. You can go to the side, you can even go at a acute angle, a 45-degree angle, which is the best way of doing it in the normal step over. I have found in the reverse step over, the best sort of technique with the exit is 90 degrees or 270 degrees. So actually exiting out either way, okay, doing an L, if you know what I mean. So doing the reverse step over and then exiting either to the right or to the left at a 90 degree or 270 degree angle. And I've found this is quite overpowered, getting into angles and scoring goals obviously and making plays. But I'll leave that for the next segment of where you should perform the skill move in FIFA 21. Moving into where you should perform the reverse step over. I have found the best place to use this is actually around the 18-yard box. On the wing, I haven't found this as useful. In the midfield, I haven't found this as useful. You can use other skill moves to better enhance your attacking game in those areas. The place where I have noticed this is good though is in front of the 18-yard box when your opponent is not defending properly. So if he's using the AI to defend, which a lot of people do, if they're not good enough, if they're not a pro, they don't really defend manually. It's a lot of AI defending. If they're defending with the AI and there is a gap, you can actually use this to burst into the space. And I've used this multiple times in the weekend league, in drafts. I've noticed if there's a gap, you can use the reverse step over to burst into the gap, exit out and score a goal. It's sort of like, not a glitch, but you get a bit of a speed boost with it. Okay, it's almost like the step over. Obviously it's the reverse step over. You kind of get a speed boost with it. So I have noticed the best place to use this is around the 18-yard box. When your defender or your opponent is defending and there's a gap, you can burst into it and have a shot or make a play. Moving into when you should perform this skill move. Like I said, I did sort of touch on this in the previous segment. The time you should use this is essentially when there is a space, okay, in the 18-yard box, and you want to burst into that space, okay. Another time is when your opponent is actually AI defending, and as I was saying, a lot of people do this. That is when you should perform this skill move, okay? As I said, other times it's not the best in the midfield or anything like that. I haven't found it's as useful. You're better off using the step over itself, okay? Not the reverse step over, the actual step over, and that tutorial is in my channel. You're better off using that in the midfield, and I have found it's very useful. If you spam that skill move, it's literally overpowered this year. If you haven't yet learnt that, be sure to check it out on my channel. The reverse, obviously the reverse step over though, be sure to use it at the time when your opponent is defending with the AI on the bots, and also at the time there is a gap in the defense around the 18-yard bots area, because you can burst into that space and obviously make a shot or make a play, score a goal. That will signal the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it though. This is a very good skill move. Obviously it's the reverse to the actual step over, which is one of the most overpowered skill moves that people are using right now. It's one of the best. People are spamming it, and it's definitely something that needs to be patched, that's for sure. But as always, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm out. Have a good one, guys, and peace.